Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Rogue Minute. Today we're going to talk about an interesting topic. There are just too many games, and so many of them are great, it's hard to keep up. Now, here on the channel, we've been focusing on roguelikes, so we're going to keep the discussion more to the roguelikes, side of things. But in general, lately there have just been so many great games over the past, 2 years. It's been pretty nuts. It's been hard to keep up. Now, in terms of roguelikes, we've been covering sort of the more traditional roguelikes as well as deck builders and the kind of survivor-like type games. So I kind of lump them all in the same sort of bucket, as they are kind of the sort of games that you try and beat a run in one go, and if you die, you have to start again with some sort of meta progression. So if you want to call it roguelite or whatever, it is what it is. I just lump them all under roguelikes, as I find that to be more of a broad term that's much easier to sort of understand what's going on. But the point of the discussion today is, even on Steam alone, there are so many roguelikes coming out, and a lot of them are actually really good. I would say at least good, if not great. We've got everything from early access to 1.0 releases. We have, games that have been out for a year or two, putting major updates in that are really, really good. You have all of that. And the thing is, I think a lot of these games are genuinely worth your time. And the thing is, a lot of these are under $10 as well on Steam. Now, obviously not all of them. Something like Hades 2 is more expensive and stuff like that. But a lot of the games out there at the moment are $10 or less. Even something like Balatro was only 15 or 20. And man, Bloodshot, what a huge success that game became, and an awesome game. So but it's hard to keep up when there are so many great games. I mean, I like playing games on different platforms and different genres too, not just the roguelikes that are on Steam. So it's really hard to keep up. Like, what do you prioritize? Like, I haven't even gotten that deep into Hades 2 yet, just because I've been so busy with so many other things. And then there's real life on top of it, right? So you can't always just be sitting there grinding games. As much as I'd love to be able to do that all day, it's like sometimes other responsibilities come up. And then there's the AAA side of things, which, you can argue AAA gaming is not as good as, it could be. There are a lot of bombs out there. Something like, Suicide Squad's just reported a $200 million loss, which is absolutely insane, but that game looked trash anyway, so it's like, of course, no one wanted to buy it. Who wants a looter-shooter comic book hero character? It's so confusing, like, why do these characters all have guns? Why does this look like super generic mission design, Like, what is going on here? We could talk about looter shooters in another video, because that is a whole other topic. And I've played a ton of them, so I reckon that'd be a fun video to do as well. But for today, we're keeping it more to do with the roguelike side of things. But as I said, just on Steam alone, I also play on Switch and Xbox, and I don't have a PS5 right now, but I had have PlayStation consoles in the past as well. The only reason I don't have one right now is purely time. I do not have time to play 4 different platforms. You know what I mean? I barely play my Switch as it is right now, and I only really play Destiny on my Xbox lately. It's my Destiny machine, because that's where my friends play, But, yeah, just Steam alone, even just within the roguelike genre, it's so hard to keep up. So I'm curious to know to hear from you guys, how are you keeping up with the crazy amount of games that are coming out? And if your favorite genre is roguelike, how are you keeping up with every single one that's come out? And we've tried a lot on the channel since we started. We've been going for 2 months, 2.5 months, something like that on this channel. And almost every game we've tried has been at least good or fun. And a lot of them are under $10, and because of the price of admission, it's like, yeah, well, sure, check this out. This is a pretty fun game. Sometimes I've said, maybe it's not quite ready for 1.0, or maybe I'm in 2 minds. But then you look at the price tag, it's like $8. It's like, well, maybe $8. I could try that for $8. And then yeah, the the AAA stuff, and then there's also the kind of mid-size type games as well. I guess maybe Hades is more of a mid-sized thing at the moment. It's not, you know, big AAA level, but it's certainly a step above some of the, you know, more indie solo or very very small team size kind of experiences. But it's awesome to see the deck builders doing really well too. I love deck builders. Slay the Spire, one of my favorite games. I put way too many hours in that. Balatro coming in and absolutely kicking butt is awesome to see. So it's just hard to keep up. We're spoiled. We are seriously living through some of the best times in gaming ever. And I just can't get behind the doom and gloom and the anger and the this and the that. You know, like there are so many amazing games. If a particular game comes out and it's not to your taste, go play something else. You know, there are so many good options right now. I don't see how anyone can sit there seething, being mad about these games. Like, oh, anyway, I think it's crazy to have that kind of attitude in 2024 about gaming. Man, last year was one of the best years in gaming ever. This year is shaping up to be pretty good as well, if not great or amazing. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming out second half of the year. And, oh man, that Xbox showcase that they did yesterday was amazing. Look, I'm certainly not a, you know, console war type person. Please don't take anything I'm saying like that. But that was an amazing game showcase. That was fantastic. There were at least like 10 games in there that looked great, and a lot of them were like AAA level. And man, shout out to Fable, that looked awesome. And Doom, man, Doom looked so good. It's man, how can you how can you not be excited about gaming right now? It's just like, I don't know, it's pretty crazy. At the end of this video, though, I'm going to give you my bonus thoughts on Destiny 2's final shape. All right, I've been playing this for the past, 3 or 4 days, a week or so since it's come out. So far, it's been good. So I'll start with the campaign. No, there will be absolutely no story campaign spoilers or anything like that. So, you know, the campaign is great, except day one sucked because there were so many connection issues that I ended up having to replay the first mission 4 times, which was a huge bummer. But aside from that, the campaign was pretty good. I'd say the first couple of missions were maybe pretty standard Destiny, but then it started to really get pretty good midway through, and then the last few missions were really, really cool. The conclusion to this 10-year story arc, you know, I thought it was pretty good. Maybe they could have explained a few more things about, you know, the Traveler and what's actually going on there, but they did a pretty good job, I thought. They introduced this villain years back now. We've been slowly building up towards him. This campaign, compared to Lightfall, is so much better. The story is so much better. The mission design is better. And the Pale Heart as a location, it looks really cool. As you get closer to where the witness is like doing his corruption thing, it starts to become more twisted, and there are all these weird like faces and hands everywhere, and they're all like sliced up and stuff. It looks really, really cool. Some of the assets in this in this area are totally reused from D1 and D2, though. You know what I mean. So if you're offended by them reusing assets, then yeah, look, half of this play space might not be to your liking. You know what I mean. I want to quickly touch on gear and abilities though, because this is one part that I feel like they're starting to make progress on. Some of the new weapons in this expansion are really, really, really cool. So they have the support frame auto rifle, which is this auto rifle that, you know, you can shoot it as a gun. It has the bullets have tracking and travel time to them though. But what you can do is you can turn around and you can shoot your teammate, bop, 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 and it'll heal him. Now, there's also a perk you can get on it. It'll give you restoration, which is basically healing for yourself as well. So you can heal you and your teammate just by whipping around and hip firing at them. It's really, really cool. And then they added the new rocket sidearm that I've been using during the campaign. It was really, 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 really strong weapon. Really cool. And the new subclass system is, I mean, it's so strong. It's insanely powerful what you're able to do with this new subclass system. The power creep in this game is absolutely insane at the moment. So I don't know where they're going to go from here because like we're already so powerful in Destiny 2. I don't know how they're ever going to sort of. I feel like they need Destiny 3 just purely for a gear and progression reset. But the one thing on the gear that I do want to touch on, though, is armor in this game sucks. It still sucks. It looks cool. It looks great. The designs, the visual designs of some of the armor sets are great. The armor itself is boring. It drops with 6 stats and empty mod slots. That's all it is. It's been like that for years. And there's no reason to chase armor outside of the exotic armor. The legendary armor, there's no reason to chase it once you have a set with some good stats. And I've had a set with good stats for like 2 or 3 years now. There's no reason for me to ever like really replace my armor. That's something that I'd love to see them work on moving forward now that they're doing these episodes. In terms of the post-campaign, there was some pretty cool quests. I thought the open world activities are pretty good. There's a lot of secrets, a lot of different objectives you can go to unlock your fragments, which is some of the extra subclass, choices and abilities. Exploring the Pale Heart's pretty good. The post-campaign missions are pretty good. There's some really fun ones in there, some pretty unique ones. There's one where there's like lava on the roof and all this stuff. It was pretty cool. And then they've added these co-op missions. Basically you're replaying some of the missions from the campaign, but they've added co-op mechanics. So you can't actually do these ones solo. You need buddies to do it. And it's really cool. They're more challenging because they have more mechanics. And they're pretty high level. So we went in like 40 light level under. I mean, it was real tough, but they were really, really fun. So, there's just one thing about the difficulty in this game, though, that still feels really, really off. So we played through the legendary campaign, which was challenging. It was satisfying to overcome, but not like so hard that it was impossible. But it was that sweet spot, right? But when you beat the campaign and then you go into the open world to start doing the post-campaign activities, everything just falls over. You just look at it and it falls over, especially with this new subclass system and all these new powerful weapons we got. Man, everything's dead. And it's like, this feels like trivial mode compared to that legend campaign I just did. Like, what is going on? I don't know. Something is off about the difficulty, like the baseline difficulty in Destiny. It's way too easy, in my opinion. And the Pale Heart, you're not matched with other players, so there's no reason for me not to be able to set the difficulty level to, I don't know, 5 or something instead of 0, But it is what it is. And the last thing I just wanted to talk about here is the raid. Looks really, really cool. I haven't had a chance to do it yet. Unfortunately, my raid team were all pretty busy when the raid launched, which is unfortunate, but it looks really, really cool. It took the world's first team 19 hours to beat, which maybe for like a World of Warcraft raid or something doesn't sound very impressive, but for a Destiny raid, that's the longest one. That, prior to that, it was Last Wish, which was like 18 hours or something. But aside from those two, I think the longest one was maybe only 7 hours or something. So it looks really cool. As I said, I haven't been in there yet, but it looks really cool. I can't wait to actually give it a try. It looks awesome. And just to wrap up this whole thing, ultimately, the final shape is more Destiny. It's good Destiny, but it's just more Destiny. It doesn't revolutionize anything. It doesn't really fundamentally change that much. The subclass thing is like, yeah, we're getting close to a big change that feels different, but it's still within the same bounds that we were working with before. It's still the same abilities, it's still the same subclass system. It's just now we can mix and match from the different elements, so it's opened things up more. But ultimately, it's still more Destiny. It's still the same weapon system. It's still the same subclass system for the most part. It's still the same armor system, which is disappointing because armor's boring. Ultimately, though, if you have people to play with, Destiny right now is a lot of fun. If you don't have anyone to play with, I could not imagine trying to get into this game solo as a new player right now. The new player experience is not good. But overall, I really like the Final Shape expansion. It's been really fun. All right, that's going to be it for Rogue Minute episode 2. This is a bit of a longer one, so let me know down below if you guys are interested in longer podcast type episodes or shorter ones. I'd love to know. So please let me know. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have an amazing, fantastic day. Consider hitting like and subscribe, and thank you very much.